Hi guys, it's Rogue here and welcome to Tech Deals. Today we're taking a look at the family of Corsair mice. Now you're probably thinking, hang on Rogue, we've done this. Well, we sort of have and we sort of haven't. We've taken a look at the Ironclaw Wireless here, and having used every single one of these, I've played warships with them, I've used the internet with them, I've worked with documents with them, every single one of them I have had in my hand. The Ironclaw here is my favorite, but I do want to go over the features of the other mice here because there are some features that may be helpful to some of you. A big thank you to Corsair for sending these to us, but as always, Tech and I always like to give you the pros and cons of each of the products so that you can make the best decision for yourself. We're going to start over here with the M65 RGB Elite by Corsair. It is wired, and the special thing about this one is pretty neat. Now the M65 by Corsair actually has an adjustable DPI sniper button right here. It's the red one. And actually it will come in handy if you have problems with your index finger, but you can use your thumb. So if you are right-handed and you have use of your thumb and you need to shoot things in your game, then I highly recommend picking this one up. Now this mouse comes in at $59.99 on the Corsair website and currently on Amazon as I'm filming this, and I will put the links in the video description below for each of these mice to Newegg and Amazon just to make it easier when you're comparison shopping. Currently on Amazon, this one is actually on sale for $49.99, 10% off. So if these mice come in under their retail price, then you're actually getting a deal. There's a few things I don't like about this mouse, and it might not worry to you. When you're actually using it, the weights here on the bottom catch a little bit and it bugs me. Now it may not bug you. The weight of this mouse is actually 97 grams, and these weights here you can actually take out. I actually preferred it with the weights out than with the weights in. I don't like the feel of it with the weights in. It feels very, very different. It would be the word that I would use. But what's interesting is when you take the weights out, it feels very, very light. I did actually take the weights out on the bottom and left the top two, and then I took the right one out and the left one out and used it, and you do notice the difference. So if you're wanting more weight on one side than the other, this will do it. The other thing I don't particularly care of with this mouse is the actual feel of it. It feels, I don't even know how to explain it. It feels tinny. It feels very plastic. It feels very hollow, I think would be the best way to describe it. It's very thin. I mean, that's the plastic there. I don't like the feel of the plastic and the aluminium together on this particular one. The rest of the mice here are completely different to this one. If this mouse had this feel, I would be having very many different things to say about it. If you're wanting a flatter mouse, then this one is for you, because if you have a look here, if you can compare them, there's actually quite a bit of difference in the shape. So this is much more flatter. This one also comes in white as well if you don't like the black. And it does only have one profile on it. So if you're looking for more than one profile, then this won't do that. But if one profile is all you need, then you're good to go. Next, we're looking at the Ironclaw RGB. There is a wireless version as well, which I did look at, and I will link that in the video description below. And currently this is coming in at $59.99 on Corsair's website. This has 7 programmable buttons. It does only have the one profile, and it comes in at 105 grams. And I actually really like how this feels in my hand. I like the thumb grip on the side. I like the feel of the plastic. It feels much different to the M65 here. It doesn't have the special sniper button that the M65 has, but it's got the RGB if you're looking for RGB. I didn't find much difference in using the wired over the wireless, but I have to say that I have been using a wireless mouse for several years now, and I much prefer the wireless version. Now the next one we're moving up to take a look at is the Glaive RGB Pro here, and I actually really like this one. Even though it is wired, I've actually taken it home, and there's actually adjustable grips on it. So I've actually got the thumb grip on it, and I much prefer the thumb grip. I've actually discovered that I actually use my thumb quite a lot when I'm using my mouse. So you can actually change them out quite easily. There's actually a magnet on it, and it just sits in and it just pops on like that. Now this has 7 programmable buttons. It comes in at 115 grams and it has 3 zones of RGB. So if you're wanting a little bit more RGB, this will be the one for you. Again, on this one, you can only program the one profile. So if you're looking for something with more profiles, this one isn't it. But if you're just looking for one profile, this is a great mouse. I actually have this at home and I'm using it on my home computer. And I have to say, it feels comfortable in your hand. I like the feel of the covering here. It's very nice. It's very smooth. Let's do the shake test. It's silent. I like this mouse a lot. Now next we're moving over to the wireless Harpoon RGB right here in front of us. And this is an interesting little mouse. I didn't particularly like this mouse simply because it was too small. But here's the thing, if you are looking for a small mouse for your hands, if you have small hands or if you have a teenager or if you have a kiddo, this will be great for them. Let's take a look at the shape of the Harpoon here in my right hand because it is much smaller than the Ironclaw here in my left hand. You can actually see the difference quite a lot when I hold them up and compare them. Now this comes in at $49.99. It is 99 grams. It has 6 programmable buttons and it has just 1 zone of RGB. Now it is wireless, so it does your Bluetooth. You can plug it in and use it. So it's a very nice little mouse if that's what you're needing. The other thing I like about it is it does have a nice thumb rest here for you, which surprised me just a little bit with how small it is, but it is very small for my hand and I don't particularly like it. The materials on this are very similar to these ones here, very different to this one here. I don't know what they did with the materials on this M65 here, but I do not like the materials at all. This one here feels very nice in the hand, and if I do the shake test, nothing. So all good. And that brings us to the Ironclaw Wireless here. This is a beast of a mouse. I love this mouse. I think this is my next favorite mouse to the Logitech 700S that Tech has put in my hands. I like the size of it. I like the feel of it. I like the materials of it. I don't need all the buttons, but I like the sizing of it and I like the fact that it's wireless because I have been using a wireless mouse now for several years. I do like the Ironclaw here, but it is wired and I have to say, even with the wire on it, I was okay with it, but I did notice it. So if you are gaming with a wired mouse, I highly recommend switching over to a wireless because you will notice a difference. You have much more freedom. Now this has 10 programmable buttons. It's got 3 zone RGB. It's got 3 onboard memory profiles. So if you're needing to switch between devices, you can do that with this. It does weigh in at 130 grams, and I have to say, it just feels solid in your hand when you're gaming. And I have used all of these, like I have said, and this one here is my favorite. Now, if you want to save a little bit of money and you don't need all the buttons and you don't need the profiles, then sure, go the wired one here because it is $20 cheaper. Now, each of them have the settings for the DPI. So you've got 125, 250, 500, and 1000. And I have to say that when I'm using web pages and documents, 250 is fine for me. And then when I'm gaming in World of Warships, I usually click it up to about 500. So, and if you're needing more than that, most of these go up to 18,000 DPI, but a lot of you probably won't need that. So let's just recap on this family of Corsair mice. And yes, there are other ones out there, but this is what we're looking at today. So you've got the sniper button. If you have use of your thumb, not necessarily your index finger, it's right in that sweet spot for you to use. It does have the weights in it if you need to take the weights out or leave the weights in. The Ironclaw here, if you're needing something comfortable in your hand and you don't need the 10 programmable buttons and you don't need the 3 zone RGB and you don't need all the profile memories, then this is a great pickup because it fits nicely in your hand. The RGB Glaive Pro here, if you're needing adjustable grips, then this is the one for you to take a look at. Next, we've got the Harpoon Wireless here. If you have a smaller hand and you're needing something to fit in your hand because all the other mice are too big or too large, then I highly recommend taking a look at this one right here. And then you've got the daddy of all big daddies, the Ironclaw Wireless RGB. 3 programmable memories, 3 zones of RGB, 10 programmable buttons, 130 grams. I like this mouse because it fits nicely in my hand. It has the right height, it has the right length. Everything about it screams performance, and it's very, very comfortable. I noticed the difference when I have a mouse that's not quite right for my hand. I do fatigue a little bit, so I don't get that when I'm using this. Alrighty guys, you know what to do. Like this video if you like it, share it with your friends if you love it, and remember to subscribe using that big red button below. Remember to click the bell icon so that you're notified of upcoming videos, and please do consider clicking that join button, as that will directly support the channel so that we can keep bringing this content to you. Comments in the comment section below, and do check the video description because I will put the links to all of these in there for you to make it easier while you're comparison shopping. Thanks so much for watching guys, and we'll see you in the next video.